On Friday morning, the International Tennis Federation (ITF) conducted a conference call with numerous media outlets, including Ubitennis, to justify the implementation of the hotly debated transition tour. In a bid to provide better standards of earning for players on the tour, from this year the number of ranked players have been cut dramatically. WTA points are only awarded to women playing in events that have $25,000 in prize money or more. In men's tennis, $25,000 ITF Pro Circuit events offer both ATP ranking points, later rounds, and ITF entry points, all rounds, while the qualifying rounds of ATP Challenger tournaments also offer both ATP ranking points, all events, and ITF entry points, events up to $125,000 in prize money. Players can use their ITF ranking to enter into professional tournaments. Jackie Nesbitt has the massive challenge of trying to win over critics of the tour. Nesbitt is the executive director of the ITF circuits. She correctly points out that the changes have been made following extensive research with the help of independent analysts. Between 2001 to 2013, a survey was conducted on 55,000 players, coaches, administrators and organizers. For all the reasons we've set out explaining why we looked to do reforms in the first place, it would be not at all optimal to go back, said Nesbitt. I don't want to get to a situation where we have huge amounts of prize money but we're delivering so poorly for players. To have so few even managing to break even, we have to be able to do better than that. I don't see any convincing argument in favor of a return to the old system. The new system has to deliver better for players. If there are changes that need to be made, they will become fairly obvious fairly quickly. It is unfair to criticize Nesbitt for her commitment to the transformation and the effort she has invested in it. However, to say the new system delivers better is something that is very subjective. Especially when there are cases of players being told they have to stay at specific hotels if they want to play in a tournament. Based on my own experience, I have heard and read concerns from players, coaches, tennis federation chiefs and parents. To say the transition tour is a true blessing is anything but accurate. The facts and figures make good reasoning. But the question remains, why so many people are against the tour? More than 12,000 people have signed an online petition to change the rules. Yevgenia Linetskaya is a former top 50 player from Russia who now works as a tennis coach. In a video she has described the changes as ridiculous and unfair. Right now what the ITF has done is that they don't give a chance for the players to show themselves because the tournaments they take part in don't give any WATP, WTA points anymore, she said. All those juniors that are out of the top 100, all those who have been out with injury and all of those who didn't play in the junior circuit due to education or a low budget are all out of the system. Nobody cares. From the ITF standpoint, they believe that a lot of the uproar has been caused by misinformation. Insisting that they have taken into the account the perspective of players and have done their revamp with the help of data evidence, the petition is what it is, Nesbitt commented. It's not unwelcome because while a lot of our changes will be directed by data evidence, it can't be based as a cold structure on data evidence alone. We have to listen to the players. They have a voice in all of this. If they're not happy, we have to take due care and attention, but, we want to make sure that the feedback we're getting is based on properly informed opinion. One has to question how much misinformation have occurred. It's plausible that tennis coaches with 20 or 30 years experience in the industry have gotten confused. In theory, yes, but in reality, no. Recently the ITF announced that Germany's Peter Heller was the new world #1 on the transition tour. The tweet was later deleted after many poked fun at the irony. 26-year-old Heller has ATP rank on 590th and is yet to play a main draw match on the ATP Tour. Although he is certainly not a poster boy for the new structure, with his father sending a letter to the ITF blasting the changes. All the hope and all the dreams were destroyed in the moment the new system was introduced. No single issue has gotten better with the reform, nearly everything is worse than before. Since 2019, main draw players even have to pay an entry fee to compete in the main draw of a tournament. That's really a shame. Not more prize money, no reduced costs, no better conditions at the tournaments, nothing but broken dreams and thousands of players worldwide unable to compete. If it was the intention of the reform to help those players save costs by preventing them to compete, at least one goal is reached. But let me get serious again, the situation is too severe to make sick jokes. The governing body of tennis has acknowledged to an extent that there are issues with the transition tour. However, they have no intention of getting rid of it. An unsurprising revelation given all the hours of work they have invested in the redevelopment. It is only hoped that the ITF will listen to the players and their concerns. Tennis is changing, but at the moment it isn't for the better. Life on the transition tour in quotes. The number of places for players to participate in these tournaments is limited, so players with no ranking or bad ranking have no chance to participate in the tournaments. I've heard from a lot of players flying around the world, going to tournaments and couldn't get in reason of the limited qualification size. Dirk Hordorf, VP of Tennis Germany: I would really like to meet a person who came up with this idea about the ITF Transition Tour and congratulate him. All the ideas that person got cannot function even in a perfect world, because players have zero benefit from it and they don't make any sense. Anna Vrljic, Croatia. Money talks and money rules. They don't need any players outside of top 100. They need the big names and the big profit from slams. By changing the rule, they secured easier stability for the top and impossible possibility for young, mid and lower-ranked players to exist. If you don't have the big agency behind you or a big sponsor, you might as well quit. Cecil Karatencheva, Belarus. It's a shambles. Everyone is responsible for this mess. It's impossible to state how much knock-on effect this will have negatively for anyone involved in tennis. Mark Petchey, former player, Great Britain. We all agree that ITF is not fulfilling their mandate of overseeing and promoting tennis worldwide. Sergei Stakovsky, Ukraine. My ranking won't even guarantee me a place in the qualifiers. Last year, I won a $25,000 tournament and I was hoping I would at least start playing the qualifier rounds of the Challengers this season, but for that I will have to improve my ITF ranking. But for that I need to play 25k events. Adil Kalyanpur, India.